You were never promised a storm-free life, only a savior who shows up in the middle of the storm. And some of you are secretly disappointed with God, not because he failed, but because the storm came and you thought he wouldn't let it. But what if the storm wasn't proof he left? It was proof he trusted you to walk through what should have drowned you. The disciples were in the perfect center of God's will when the winds rose and the waves crashed. Jesus himself told them to cross to the other side, Mark 4 verse 35, and still, the storm hit. That's the first shocking truth most people miss. Obedience doesn't cancel opposition. In fact, it often invites it. The storm is not always a punishment. It may be preparation. Sometimes the attack is not a sign you're off track. It's confirmation that you're carrying something hell is terrified of. And here's the hidden warning. In every storm, you will be tempted to forget what God said before the wind started. You will question what he promised in the calm because fear feels louder in the chaos. That's what happened to Peter. He walked on water until fear hijacked his focus. Jesus didn't stop the storm first. He called Peter out into it. That's how God works. He shows up in the fire, in the pit, in the prison, in the valley of the shadow, not always to rescue you from it, but to walk you through it. Isaiah 43 verse 2 doesn't say if you pass through waters and fire. It says when. Which means storms are not optional. But neither is his presence. And if you've been waiting for the waves to stop before you move forward, you might be missing the God who is already standing on them. The presence of a storm doesn't mean the absence of God. It might be where he's the closest. But storms expose things. They reveal if you really trust, or if you were just coasting on comfort. They reveal what's built on rock and what's built on sand. Some of you have been praying for strength, not knowing that the storm is the answer. Because strength isn't given, it's grown. And God is not just interested in calming storms, he's interested in building you. And storms are his gym. That's why Jesus was asleep in the boat. He wasn't ignoring them, he was modeling peace. He already said, let us go to the other side. And he doesn't say what he doesn't mean. The enemy, however, will scream that you're going under. He'll say you're forgotten. He'll use fear, fatigue, and frustration to get you to jump ship when your breakthrough is one wave away. And some of you are secretly bargaining with fear, saying, if God was really with me, this wouldn't be happening. But Job was righteous and still got wrecked. Paul was anointed and still shipwrecked. Jesus was perfect and still crucified. So no, storms don't mean you're cursed. They might mean you're chosen. Because before every resurrection, there's always a storm, a silence, a grave. And the greater the promise, the greater the pressure. But here's the hope. The storm has a limit. It has an expiration date. It doesn't get the final word, Jesus does. He speaks, and even the winds recognize his voice. So what will you do in your storm? Will you panic, or will you remember? Will you sink, or will you fix your eyes on the one who already conquered wind and wave? Romans 8 verse 28 says that all things work together. Not just the blessings, but the battles too. So don't curse the storm. Use it. Let it strip what needed to go. Let it deepen what needed to grow. Let it prove that what's in you is stronger than what's around you. Because storms will come, but so will Jesus. And when he shows up, it's never too late, never too little, never too weak. He comes walking on what threatened to wipe you out, just to prove that what shakes you can't sink you when he's in the boat. So don't retreat. Don't doubt. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary weather. The storm may be big, but your God is bigger.